Heyo! We just recently got a whopping 60-minute long Nintendo Direct, making it the biggest general direct we've ever gotten. And there were a lot of really cool game announcements, and I want to let you guys know just what I'm thinking about them. We'll start out with the Mario 40th anniversary. Now, the 35th anniversary, despite the fact that it happened during the pandemic, and some people thought it was lackluster, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought we got a pretty good lineup of stuff. Mario 35 was a really fun game, and 3D All-Stars was a really fun game, and I was really happy that we finally got 3D World on the Switch, as well as Bowser's Fury, which was a whole new take on the 3D Mario formula. The 40th anniversary looks like it could top that, because now we're getting both Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2, which is awesome. Now, yeah, it does suck because, for someone like me who bought 3D All-Stars, I already bought Super Mario Galaxy for the Switch, but they did get rid of 3D All-Stars, which was stupid, but they got rid of it. So now Mario Galaxy is permanently available on the Switch, and now we've got Galaxy 2, which are both some of the best 3D platformers ever made. So if you guys haven't played them, you gotta jump in. We're getting a new Mario Tennis game, which, look, I'm definitely going to be very skeptical, of this one. I'm definitely going to tread lightly. I'm going to look at the reviews, I'm going to look at gameplay footage, because the last couple Mario Tennis games have not been great. They've lacked in content. And, with Mario Tennis Aces, the gameplay formula was really good, but there just wasn't enough content to justify me playing it. The same can be said about Mario Golf Super Rush. They absolutely nailed the gameplay, but there just wasn't enough content for me to actually feel like playing the game for any more than 5 hours. So, they did highlight that there's a lot of stuff going on in Mario Tennis Fever, so we'll see if it's good, and if it, warrants the $70 price tag, but we'll see. We're getting a Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Bros. Wonder with a whole DLC campaign, which is awesome. I haven't played Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I really need to do that, and this looks like the perfect time to jump in. I'm also really excited about Yoshi getting a new game. I admittedly skipped out on Yoshi's Crafted World, but this new game looks awesome, and so maybe I could pick up Yoshi's Crafted World on a discount and then dive into Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is what it's called. The announcement from this Direct that caught me off guard the most, that I really need to talk about, is the Virtual Boy getting added to the Switch Online service. That's crazy! If you showed me this, I would have thought you were joking. I would have thought it was just a meme, but no, it's real! Now, it's crazy that you have to spend $100 on an actual Virtual Boy replica or $25 on some cardboard just to use the Switch Online app for the Virtual Boy. I think that's kind of stupid, but it's still crazy to me that they even bothered to put the Virtual Boy on the online service. I thought next up we would have gotten Wii or DS games or something, not the Virtual Boy. That's wild, but you know what? I'll take it. I'm not gonna lie, I'll take it. I'm really glad that we're getting Resident Evil Requiem. That's pretty cool. Now, admittedly, I haven't played any of the Resident Evil games, and I'll probably play Resident Evil Requiem on the PS5 or something, but I still think it's awesome that it's coming to the Switch too, especially because it's not a cloud version. We got cloud versions of games like Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village on the original Switch, which, by the way, these games are now being ported to Switch 2 natively, so you don't need the cloud version. So yeah, I'm really glad that, the Resident Evil games are being made available to the Nintendo audience, and they're actually able to play them on the hardware itself and not buy some stupid cloud access. Because the Resident Evil games do have a pretty rich history with Nintendo consoles, so I think it's really cool that they're getting added. And another big announcement for the Switch 2 is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which, look, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't played Fire Emblem, don't kill me, and I really need to, and I do want to, because I know that a lot of Xenoblade fans really like Fire Emblem. And seeing as how I'm a really big Xenoblade fan, chances are I'm gonna enjoy Fire Emblem, but I just haven't gotten there yet, so one of these days I'll probably pick up a copy of Three Houses, give it a go, and then if I like that, then hey, maybe I'll dive into this new game that's coming out next year. As for the Switch 1 announcements, I was a little disappointed we didn't get to see any new Rhythm Heaven content. I was looking forward to that one a lot, but I was not looking forward to it nearly as much as Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, baby! We got a new gameplay trailer, and admittedly, yeah, it didn't really show us too much new stuff. Didn't really tell us what's big and new about Living the Dream in particular, but we did get a release window of spring 2026, meaning that by May or June of next year, the a decade-long wait will be over. It's friggin' awesome. We finally got some release dates for games like Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, which, admittedly, I didn't even think it was coming out this year. During the Switch 2 Direct, they said, coming winter 2025, but then in the partner showcase, they just said winter. So, since they got rid of the 2025, I thought, oh, maybe this is getting bumped to like January or February or something. But no, it's coming out in November before Kirby Air Riders. That's awesome. I really liked Age of Calamity back on the original Switch. Outside of the whole story issues and the performance issues, but overall, it was a really solid game, and I had a really good time with it. So I'm really glad that Age of Imprisonment is going to be improving on that, because it's taking advantage of the Switch 2's hardware to have good performance, and they've confirmed that this is the canon story. It's none of that going back in time, alternate timeline crap. No, this is the real deal, so I'm really looking forward to that. And we also finally got a release date for Metroid Prime 4, which is crazy. It's been 8 years since this game was announced. I mean, literally, it will be roughly 8.5 years between the game's announcement and the game's release. It's wild that we're finally getting it, but we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We got a bunch of cool games showing off. Like, we got Dragon Quest, we've got Fatal Frame, we've got Power Wash Simulator, Danganronpa, Dynasty Warriors, Monster Hunter Stories 3. Like, we got a lot of really cool games going on here. Now, I'll probably not end up playing most of these, let's be real here, I won't have the time, but I'm really excited to see them all on the Switch 2, because these are all amazing games. I mean, when I saw Dynasty Warriors Origins back at the State of Play last year, I was really excited for it. And yeah, I haven't played it, but still, I think it's really exciting, it's a really cool game, and I'm glad that the Switch 2 is getting that kind of third-party support. Going back to first-party though, we're getting DLC for Donkey Kong Bananza, which, admittedly, I need to make a whole video talking about this. I am a little mad about it. And look, Donkey Kong Bananza is a phenomenal game. One of the best 3D platformers ever made, in my opinion. I loved it. I played it to death. I 100%ed it in like 2 weeks. Pretty much every single minute of free time that I had after the game's release was spent playing that game. I love Donkey Kong Bananza. And the only real complaint I have is that the post-game didn't feel as good as it did in something like, I don't know, Super Mario Galaxy or even Super Mario Odyssey. There was post-game content, but it wasn't anything mind-blowing or special, Like, there wasn't anything like Peach's Castle in Super Mario Odyssey. But in Donkey Kong Bananza, now we're getting the DK Island and Emerald Rush DLC, which looks like the post-game content that would have been there in the first place, so we'll see. I feel like Nintendo just ripped the post-game content out of the game and slapped a $20 price tag on it, because it's only been 2 months since the game came out. Like, they definitely could have had this DLC ready in time for the game's launch, and they could have just included it with the base game, but that's its own video. I need to complain about the pricing for a lot of things, but yeah, at least there's DLC for Donkey Kong Bananza. I know a lot of people were mad that we didn't get Mario Kart World DLC, but like, come on, man. I just paid $80 for that game if I wanted a physical copy, and even still, $50 if you want it through the bundle. I don't want to spend another $20 on DLC. The thing just came out. Let me enjoy it. But overall, we did get some pretty good games in this Nintendo Direct. We also got a little glimpse at the Mario Galaxy movie. That's right, the next Mario movie is based off of Super Mario Galaxy, which is freaking awesome. I can't wait to see how they, play that out on screen, and I can't wait to hear all the different orchestral remixes of Gusty Garden Galaxy. Gusty Garden Galaxy is one of my favorite songs of all time, so I'm really excited about that. And overall, I think that the future's looking pretty bright for the Switch 2. Just a month ago, things looked pretty bad in terms of first-party support. I know a lot of people complain about third-party support, but me personally, I didn't really have an issue with how things were looking. I think the third-party support was really strong. It's just we didn't know enough about the first-party games. We didn't know about what was coming up in the future, and we didn't even know about the games that were already announced, like release dates. We didn't know when they were coming out. We didn't know when Metroid Prime 4 was coming. We didn't know when Hyrule Warriors was coming. We didn't know when Kirby Air Riders was coming. But now that we have release dates for all of these things, and we have some game announcements and release dates for games in 2026, I feel like we're going to be riding pretty high. We've got a lot of good stuff to play. I mean, next month, we've got the Mario Galaxy games, and we've got Pokemon Legends ZA. In November, we've got both Kirby Air Riders and Hyrule Warriors, and then to cap off the year, we've got Metroid Prime 4. And we've got a lot of games coming out next year to tide us over until when we'll likely have a February or January Nintendo Direct. So, overall, the future's looking pretty bright. And I really enjoyed the Nintendo Direct. I know a lot of people were complaining, oh, it wasn't good, there wasn't enough stuff in here. But me personally, I think it was pretty stacked, but overall, what did you think?